Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this team. Thank you for the people that are willing to sacrifice their time and talents to change hearts and lives and just provide a radical transformation in our region. We know that it is never a small thing, and just appreciate that we get to ultimately just love to be able to be a family together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, here we go. This weekend, we have a few different communicators coming up. It's basically it's going to be Pastor Todd. There'll be a life story, and then there'll be Pastor Dave will come up and do his thing. I'm going to run it all the way through though, and you can let me know if you have questions. We'll have pre-roll into Stephen doing a welcome to that camera 5 position for the 8:30, possibly the 10. We'll come out of that into See the Light. We'll go into House of the Lord with Chris, and then Fresh Wind with Janelle. Be sure to listen to the midweek if you're flowing lyrics or doing camera shots, because there's some pieces where they take different leads throughout the songs, so you're going to need to know those. In the midweek, which is in the plan over the planning center plan, over on the left-hand side, all the way at the bottom, there's a link for midweek. If you're on the web version, if you're on your phone, scroll to a file attachments, and it's in there. It just says midweek. You can listen to this set that we record on Tuesdays. Coming out of Fresh Wind, likely Pastor Dave's going to take the transition, going to do a little turn and greet, have people seated. We'll do ways to connect, announcements, offering. Out of the offering prayer, Pastor Stephen, possibly Pastor Dave, they were talking back and forth about who would take it, are going to set up communion. At that time, there'll be a staging movement there where we take the smaller table that has the communion elements and put it out at vocal 5 position. So they're going to set up, Stephen will set it up, and then we'll put that table out. And then Janelle is going to lead us through the first part of Only Jesus. After the second chorus, we're going to come back out. Pastor Dave will lead through taking of communion. After he finishes, there's staging movement number 2, where somebody grabs a table and pulls it back off platform. Then we'll finish up Only Jesus. Pastor Todd will come up out of Only Jesus. He'll go into that vocal 5 position again, kind of in between vocal 4 and 5, because it'll be a vocal worship leader standing there. But he's going to come up, he's going to look to center, and he's going to take the transition out of communion. He's going to pray. As he's praying, third stage of movement happens where this big table that's got some dishes and a water pitcher and also bread is going to be on the table. Big candle in the center, which we will light after we pull it out. So there's 3 wicks there that we're going to light. And then Pastor Todd is going to continue to pray and get ready to turn into center. Biggest thing about the table is there's chairs that need to get put around it. The first movement after the table, so should be a dark green chair, which is one of the older Gardens chairs. And that'll be to the far stage left, so closest to where Todd would be standing in the center. That chair needs to come out, but not get in his camera shot, because we're kind of dangerously close to his tight camera shot, and I don't want to see it on cameras, please. So that chair will come out first, and then the other chairs will come out hopefully somewhat simultaneously around the table. We just can't step into behind his camera shot. So I know it's going to be a little awkward getting the chairs out, but we'll do the best we can. Got a decent sized team. Let's be ready for it. Pastor Todd will preach.
He kind of steps away from the table so that they have a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, that's the idea. But just in case he does, we're going to set that first chair and then try to stay out of his camera shot for the rest of the chairs.
Gotcha.
There are 6 chairs total. So the table illustration doesn't happen to the very end of his message, last 5 minutes or so. He is going to start talking about the stories of people's lives that have been impacted by the campus and things like that. He's going to talk about the chairs. He's got an alabaster jars illustration. He's got a water illustration. That last 5 minutes, we'll have keys up playing behind him, supporting him. We'll switch the LED. We'll all screen to a picture of a bunch of different lives as he starts talking about the lives we've impacted. He'll continue the rest of his message, and he'll say something to the effect of, at all your campuses and here and online, we've got a special story we want you guys to hear. He'll step out. Sylvia will step up from stage right, the drum entrance, into that dark green chair that we've got. It's closest to the center. She'll tell her story. It's a few minutes long. She will be at rehearsal for us to be able to work through it with her. After she finishes telling her story, keys will fade out. Pastor Dave will come in and teach his part. He'll have salvation prayer at the end of his message. Keys will be up again, praying underneath his prayers. And then we'll follow up with text the word yes if you made that decision today. We have prayer partners up front. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. That is the morning. I'm going to go ahead and go through the 5 p.m. just for the people that are listening, and also kind of gives us, it's almost the same with a few exceptions. So pre-roll is going to start right at 5 o'clock as opposed to normal start like at 4:58. So start at 5 o'clock. Stephen will do a quick welcome to get us into song 1. After song 1, we're going to do a full turn and seat, and we're going to do all of the welcome announcements, ways to connect, OSU there. We'll pray for offering, and then we'll go back into song 2, song 3, and then Dave will come up and lead the room through communion. Instead of starting only Jesus, we're going to lead the whole room through communion, take communion, and then encourage prayer stations around. And then we'll do the full only Jesus song with no break in it. So unlike the morning service where we've got the first part of Pastor Stephen sets up what we're going to be doing with communion, first part of only Jesus, take communion. Second part, we're going to do all of only Jesus. Communion's all going to happen before that song. Out of that, Pastor Todd will join with Pastor Todd as he preaches his message. We'll do the life story again, and then we'll do Pastor Dave at the end, and then we'll do dismissal. So those are the differences. Questions?
I know we're not going to be there, but who's going to be directing for the 5 o'clock?
Olivia.
Cool.
Okay. Those of you who don't know, I am going to be starting a little mini vacation Sunday evening. It's my wife and I's 23rd anniversary, but I'm also bringing the kids to a little summer trip. So we'll be out. A couple of housekeeping things. Love that you guys have been confirming and being consistent. Our Tuesday nights, just to kind of rebrand them and talk to them about further, it's the opportunity to get together and have community, but also training. So I'm going to be regularly encouraging everybody that has availability to be a part of the Tuesday night community nights. It's a great opportunity if you're coming up on a particular weekend to see kind of what the service is going to look like, but it's also a great opportunity for us to be able to work together and really build out what the future of the team is going to look like. We'll have food available. Obviously, we'll have lots of time for conversation and talking with the worship team. Beyond that, there are still availability, like you can still schedule one-on-ones with me, or you can schedule them with Brandon to have some time just to chat about things going on in your life, but also where you think we might make improvements for the team, or just where you would like to see us to connect with you a little bit better. The team itself, we have a lot of exciting things that are coming up after the summer. A lot more camera positions, a lot more creativity. We'll be able to house 2 different video rooms, things like that, that we definitely we're going to start working towards building a pretty big and dynamic team. We've already added some positions. We're making some improvements already about how we do communication so that flows a little bit better. Namely, you can, like a graphic station, can put on a headset now that can hear us talking, but as well as hearing click and loop and things like that. So we're working on that this week. Also working on some workflows. Again, our team is probably going to grow to about 26 people per weekend. Seems like a lot, but we already have one of the biggest teams across all of our campuses. So that's great, but needing to start working through who can join the team. So not just like who's coming through Dream Team, but also people that that you're willing to invite in. If you got people in school who are excited to be a part, students, adults, things like that. So we'll keep reaching out about that. Brandon's been connecting with everybody, so love that he's been doing that. And I think that's it. This is a pretty long video, so I'm going to stop talking now. Any other questions?
I want to hear from more of you. I want to connect with more of you. Text me, email me anytime.
I thought Brandon. Yeah.
Is Brandon at the church as well?
Yes, he's sitting outside April's area. Okay.
I have one more question.
Oh boy. Yep. What is it?
My hair's salty.
Uh,
Not even a question.
Kids at the beach. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.
Peace.